3 years. They're a great program. They have a great school up there in Fayette, Missouri. They were conference champions 4 years in a row, but 8 total, correct?
I haven't been there that long, but yeah, just say it is.
So they're the dominant program in this area at small four-year colleges like in the NAIA. Gene is probably the most tireless recruiter I've ever met. This gentleman will, a little funny joke was when I took the job at Avila, I said, I'm going to try to work as hard or outwork Gene and be at every tournament Gene's at. That was my goal. That's how hard this man works. It is very, very hard to keep up with him. So anything about recruiting and talent, Gene knows probably every kid in the state of Missouri and half the kids in the state of Kansas. So he's very, very knowledgeable about this process, and I'd like to welcome Gene Reardon to the stage.
Let me just start by talking about the NAIA a little bit. There's a lot of misconceptions about the NAIA being like, okay, we're below NCAA, we're the 4th level down, and the 5th level down, you're straight to the bottom if you go NAIA. A couple of facts about the NAIA. It was the first collegiate association. Actually, it started back in 1937 as basketball. Naismith was one of the first organizers. You guys may not know who that is, but some of your parents will. Naismith was one of the first organizers. John Wooden brought his Indiana State team to Kansas City in 1940 to play in the NAIA tournament here. It was one of the first schools, it was the first conference to let in historically black colleges. So they have a long, long history. When I went to Washburn, we were NAIA. We played Wichita State, everybody else across the country, pretty much NAIA. So over the years, we've had Division II come in, Division III, a lot of the schools have left the NAIA, so now we have about 300 schools spread out across the country. Most of them have a religious affiliation, like we're Central Methodist. We get $500,000 a year from the Methodist Church. We're the only Methodist school in Missouri. 80% of the kids that come to our school are not Methodist. There are as many Catholics, Baptists, Lutherans there as there are Methodists. So a lot of times I get questions, do you have to be Methodist? No, Methodists do get a half tuition scholarship. So if you are Methodist, you go to church, you get a half tuition scholarship. There are 23 conferences in the NAIA spread out across the country. Right in this area around Kansas City, you have at least 3 that are really good. You have the KCAC, which is like Ottawa, Bethany, Friends, other schools. You have the HAC, which is what we are in, Heart of America Conference, Benedictine, Baker, Avila, Mid-American Nazarene, Evangel. We have 10 schools in our conference. We're growing 2 more next year. They'll be in Des Moines, and then after that there'll be 2 more coming in. So eventually I guess we're going to go to 16 here, and we'll probably split up into 2 divisions. What Adam said about the recruiting process applies for us. I mean, watching you girls, what you do on the field, off the field, how you write letters, how you interact with your parents, how do you interact with your teammates. Same thing for us. We're looking for the same girls. The 1% he's talking about, I would love to have that 1%, and I will try to recruit it. But going against Kansas or Missouri or LSU, often hard, okay? Not often hard, mostly hard. I have a girl right now that could have played, I think, at pretty much any Division I. I had a couple of them. Could have played at any Division I in the country. One was from Trenton, Missouri, came to us, 4-time All-American, threw about 63, 64 miles an hour. She wanted a small school, very introverted individual, did not want a big school. Wanted a school about 1,000. I've got another one from Park Hill, left-handed catcher. Rob can tell you, she was the Diamond Catcher of the Year in the NAIA this year. Coach Earlywine at Mizzou has tried to talk to her about coming over and being his catcher. So she's doing athletic training. They won't let him do athletic training. And although we don't try to transfer girls like that to the other school, but we have very, very good players. We're going to a tournament, top 25. We've invited the NFCA, National Fast Pitch Coaches Association, invited us to Columbus, Georgia, to play in the Olympic Stadium in a top 25 tournament. So we're 16th, and we're starting off against the number 1, number 2, and number 4 team in the nation. We will play anybody. We played Mizzou twice this last fall. We played St. Louis U. So we'll play anybody, anytime. Look for the challenge, just to show what we can do. I feel that some of the top teams, and Rob could talk about this and Adam too, many of the top teams in the NAIA can compete against many of the mid-majors, the D2s, all of that. I don't think we would compete very well against the Mizzou's, the Kansas, the LSU's, those top elite teams. But you take it down from there, the top 50 or 40, you could put an NAIA team out there and put them in a different uniform. I don't think you'd tell they were NAIA. There are many, many talented girls playing at that level. I want to talk specifically a little bit about what it takes. Well, let me say this. Their rule book is how many pages? Ours is that many pages. None. I can go talk to you at any game, anytime. I can talk to any parent. Any parent can come and talk to me. You can come to me and say, hey, coach, what are you looking at? Whatever. You can come and talk to me about you bought a new car. Talk to me about where you live. I have no rules. You can come. We don't have official visits or unofficial visits. You can call me anytime. So we're totally open. I guess it's one of the NAIA advantages that gives some of the NCAA to be able to do that, be open, be able to talk to parents. We don't have to wait till after the tournament or anything like that. It's just an advantage to us. The requirement to be eligible in the NAIA is have an 18 ACT, be above a 2.0, or upper half of your class. You have to have 2 of those 3. So any 2 of those will do. But scholarships, we have both academic and athletic. Both academic and athletic. Now every school has their own budget, do their own thing. Particularly at Central Methodist, we have a pool of money, and then we have academic money and a participation amount. Let's call it that way. We, in our conference, have 4 teams that have junior varsity. We have a junior varsity. We have to carry 40 girls on our team. Girl comes in, freshman, they are not necessarily JV. We've had freshmen a year in the conference the last 2 years. You come in and you can play, you're going to be on the varsity. So it's not about years in school, it's about talent when you come in. But there are differences in the scholarships. A few years ago, I'm pretty sure Mid-American Nazarene only gave you academic or athletic. I don't know, yours both? Was it a mixture of both? I think Benedict's, you just have to ask the school what it is, what is their scholarship system. Everyone's different. Some of them have a pool of money, and they get assistance from academic. So everything is different at every school. We don't have any set rule, but you have to have this. And even the D1s, I think, are allowed 12. Yeah, but not every D1 school can afford 12. St. Louis U, I know, has a lot less than 12. So that's another thing when they talk about full rides. I asked Adam to talk about that too. How many people really get a full ride athletic? People get full rides because of financial aid, academic, all of that stuff. But it takes a lot of putting money together to do that. No recruiting rules. We, at least at Central Methodist, probably are in the recruiting game later than the D1s. We're probably looking at girls mostly when they're in the junior year and senior year. Late developers, girls that may have been overlooked, girls that might have had an injury in one of those years, still a good player. We're looking for those girls. I can. Matter of fact, I've got a 2017 commitment. A girl from Texas wants to play at Central Methodist. She's a good player, and she said she's coming. So, I guess my head coach would tell you that his #1 goal for every girl that comes on campus is to have her graduate. Number one goal. We were number one in the nation for GPA 4 years ago. We have been top 10 in the nation for GPA the last 10 years. Every girl will get that speech when they come in. He watches their grades. Every 4 to 5 weeks he gets a report. He's lucky he is one of 2 coaches down at Central Methodist that's on the faculty. So the biggest way to get in trouble at Central Methodist is not to go to class, to get below a 2.9, or to get a D or an F. That's an automatic, you're going to the tutors. We have a lot of girls at 4 that go to the tutors anyway, just to keep their grades up. How many of you think you're going to go beyond college and play pro ball? So why are you in college? Why are you going to college? Play softball? Become a nurse? Become an accountant? Maybe be a doctor? That's what it's all about. So I go back to what Adam said. Great to play softball. It helps you pay for college. Pick a school that's going to give you the degree that you want. A lot of schools won't let you do nursing and play softball. 2 years ago, Baker had 2 great pitchers, both in nursing. Sophomore year, junior year, they had to go to Topeka. So think about the school and think about whether you can get your degree or not. I would say don't change your dream just because somebody is saying, hey, you can play softball. I don't know, but he stole a lot of my talk. I don't want to repeat about what the girls should do on the field and all that.